Hey guys, this is Jennifer Nagel, the real Jennifer Nagel, as I put in the title. Hoping you guys get to see this if you're having lunch or etc. And yeah, I'm gonna tag Paul Nagel in this video, sure. Because I really wanted to take some time. I've been really excited these last few days. Like I said, there's a lot going on with me, and then I don't know. I've been feeling kind of introspective. Hey, Shauna. And I wanted to make sure that I was being really true to who I was and letting you really know about who I am, and not just who I am as a trainer or who I am as a professional background. I really wanted to talk about me and who I really am, and why is it that I really understand a lot of what I talk about with women. Anyway, that sounds really weird, but let me just keep talking. I just see so much out there on Instagram and Facebook. It's like everybody's best version of themselves, and sometimes you forget that people are real with real issues, real challenges, and it actually makes them really qualified to do a lot of things. So I think it's important to just be really honest. Like right now, if I'm being really honest, I'm worried that you guys can see my sports bra zipper right through my shirt. So that's one thing. Wearing a headband because my edges don't look good. I mean, this is real, okay? So I wanted to give you some background about me. I know on social media I've shared a lot about my professional background, but I need to tell you guys really all about who I really am and where it comes from and why I do what I do. So, hey Anna, Misty, Shauna, Eric, Paul, everybody. Hi, I'm waving. So I said my New Year's resolution was going to be to, no filters, no BS. You're going to get me. So here it is. But fitness has really been my passion for my entire life. I'm definitely one of those kids who would bounce off the walls. My grandmother used to call me Wiggle Worm. That was always her nickname for me. And I didn't like it at the time, but I think she meant that I always kept moving. And so my mom has 5 brothers. My dad had tons of brothers and sisters. So I had a lot of aunts and uncles from St. Louis. So shout out to St. Louis. Many of my family is still there. To Lou. Yep. Nellyville, all that good stuff. May. Oh, it's so good to see you. Hey, May. Anyway, my friend May, she's all across the ocean. I haven't seen her forever, and she just tuned in. So anyway, I used to bet my aunts and uncles like $1 or a quarter. Oh, I bet I can do 100 push-ups or 100 sit-ups. And they would, oblige me, but they would give me money. So fitness and money always work well for me. No, I'm kidding. So fitness was huge. I would do it all the time. I would be moving all the time. I absolutely loved it. My family knew I loved it. They always encouraged me. And then fast forward, I always exercised. I played sports. I was active throughout high school. I worked in this really great personal training studio in Farmington Hills, where I'm from. The owner was a bodybuilder at the time, and maybe some foreshadowing. And he really encouraged me. He helped me. He let me teach some of the aerobics classes, and he helped me work with me to help train other clients. So that was really my first exposure to personal training, and I loved it, and I loved what he did, and I loved his studio, and he was really a great role model for me, and also seeing other fit women in the gym, because at the time, because I'm 40, you didn't see a lot of that. You saw a lot of people who did aerobics and cardio, which is great, but I didn't see a lot of people hitting the weights, and so it was great to be in that environment. I stayed active during college, even though, yes, I gained that freshman 15, I may have gained that freshman 20. We had chicken nuggets and stuff in our cafeteria, and let me tell you what happens when you eat chicken nuggets every day. Your booty goes from this big to you can't even see it on the camera, this big. Don't forget dancing, that's right. Anna's my high school friend, and she was on Palms. I was a cheerleader, and one day we'll tell you about the failed attempt at the talent show tryouts, but we were really good. But I went back to fitness really in college, hardcore, because it was always the thing that grounded me. So I would work out, I'd go to class, I'd work out, and I also went to school at a large Big Ten school. So just walking to class was a workout. So power walking 20, 30 minutes in between classes was no joke. But I'd also worked out at the, gym on campus and made sure I just stayed fit. And that grounded me. College was tough for me for many reasons, and that's probably a topic for another live, but that it was exercise that always helped me feel like I was okay. And so after college, I got married young to my college sweethearts, and then subsequently got divorced about 7 years later. We had a beautiful baby girl. And, my ex is a really good guy, and it just didn't work out, and wish him all the best. But that was still a really tough transition. So I hope nobody here has ever been divorced, but if you have, you can give me a heart or a wave or whatever, because it is hard. It's hard and it's devastating, whether it should happen or not. Whether it should happen or not. So my husband popped on and then jokingly said, "You were married?" Yeah. It was hard. It was really difficult. My house, everything that I used to have was just gone, and I had to start over with a 5-year-old. And so, and it was lonely, and I was sad, and I was depressed, and I was really broke. So fitness was that thing that grounded me once again. I mean, in my brokenness and in my single motherhoodness, I couldn't leave my little dinky apartment. They had an apartment gym. I just couldn't leave my baby at home by herself. And that's how I got into home programs. And that's actually how I ended up meeting my now husband, Paul, who is jokingly on this feed. And how I got back into fitness again. I turned back to it because it grounded me. It helped me feel semi-normal, like I was human, that I was worthy and valuable again. So all I could afford at the time was the Beachbody Insanity program. Sorry, I don't want to tear up. And so I bought it with literally the last remaining credit on my credit card. Thank you, credit union, for extending me the loan. But it was a huge life changer, because at the time those programs were not as well known. And I did them at home, and then found the online community and started engaging with folks. And that's how I met Paul and really a whole bunch of other wonderful people who I'm still friends with to this day. In fact, many of them are kind of like my ride or die buddies, because we just grew so tight together. We were from all over the country. Met each other, hung out, did such great things, and Paul and I became great friends. And then, of course, subsequently, fast forward a few more years, and we dated, and he decided to move here to Michigan. So Paul and I are total opposites, but the one thing we do have in common is fitness. Like most people, when they meet us, I think either they really know we're married, or really we're like, what? How did this happen? Oh, hugs you from Singapore, May. I miss you. And Anna, yes, gym therapy, that is important. And she's talking about that's how she got into competing. And it's so true. So I'm with the love of my life. He's come up from Texas. And what do you do when you first get into a new wonderful relationship and move in together? You start a business. Yeah, don't ever do that. I'm surprised we made it through those times. But we started a business. It was a fitness studio right in our local town. And we kind of backslid. So we were working nonstop. I still had a full-time job. He's retired from the Army, so this became his full-time job. And we lived, breathed, ate, slept our business. We didn't have any time for each other. We didn't have time for our kids. We certainly weren't taking care of ourselves, and we got fat. Like we gained weight. I think we gained, I'm not going to speak for him. I gained at least 30 pounds, and I didn't even notice. I knew I was chunkier, a little more to love, all that good stuff. I was heavy, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and it was so hard. Hey, Anna, Anna and Anna, you guys are both on, so nice to see you. And so it was a huge eye-opening experience. Paul proposed, so we're engaged. We're starting to take pictures, thinking about our wedding. We're going to do a destination wedding. And so I took a picture, and he took a picture of ourselves in bathing suits. Wow, was that an eye-opener. Wow, it was ridiculous. It was, we were in shock. We didn't know how bad we'd gotten, but every night we didn't have time to cook for ourselves, so Little Caesars $5 pizza became our best friend. And when you eat Little Caesars $5 pizza every single night, you look like you eat Little Caesars pizza every single night. It was bad, especially because we owned a fitness studio. We were exercising. We were talking about fitness and the benefits of that. It was hard. So We decided a lot of things. So during our marital counseling, so shout out to People's Church, Drew and Andrew, who did our marital counseling. There was such a wonderful exercise in which we wrote down the top 5 most important things to us, and then we talked about how we spent our time. And the goal is to make sure the 5 important things were in sync. And Paul and I's top 5 were totally in sync, but then we looked at how we spent our time, totally not aligned. So it was an eye-opening experience, and so we decided in that moment that we were going to close our business. We were at the point where we needed to either expand or close, and we opted to close because at the time when we said our top 5 were important, it was our relationship, our family, our kids, our health, and we hadn't been spending any time on any of those things. But going back to fitness, it grounded us because, interestingly enough, closing a fitness business allowed us to have more personal time to take care of ourselves, to invest in ourselves. So oh, thanks, May. So we closed our business, and then we actually joined another gym so that we could actually exercise, and we started running and doing things together, and things got so much better for us personally because we were finally taking care of ourselves. We were excited for our wedding. Our kids had more time with us. And again, it was back to that fitness that grounded us, and that was that glue that held us together, even though we were not physically where we wanted to be. So by the time we got married, we looked a whole lot better. Paul looked amazing. Of course, he's a guy. I was still struggling a little bit. So after we came back from our honeymoon, I hired a coach. And it was humbling for me because as a independent woman, personal trainer, telling someone that I needed help was really difficult. But I did. It wasn't so much I didn't know what to do, but there's a lot of what to do's. When you have to think about it for yourself, it's completely different. They say attorneys should never be their own clients, and I don't believe that personal trainers should train themselves. I don't think hairstylists should do their own hair. I mean, I think it's one of those things where you should always ask for help. I think all good coaches have coaches, whether it's a business coach or a personal coach or a life coach. I think about Olympic athletes. Olympic athletes are the best athletes in the world. They all have coaches. Most people don't train themselves. So once I finally decided to ask for help, it was the most amazing process in the world. And what it was I invested in me. I invested in myself. I invested in, I spent money. I didn't even care how much it cost. I'll be honest, at the time, I don't remember how much it cost, but I was like, I'm paying it because I just need to be better. I need to feel better. I need to be a better person. I want to feel more confident. I want to stand up nice and tall. And so investing in someone who could help me was the best money ever spent. And I think the initial program was only 12 weeks. So it was a 12-week program. I invested in myself, learned a lot. It was a lot of the mindfulness pieces that I was missing because it's not like I wasn't eating well and exercising, but I wasn't thinking in a particular way. And I'm telling you, mindset really impacts your progress. If you think that your brain can, be separated from your body when you're trying to go through a fitness journey, forget it. That's not true. If you guys hear weird noises, there are 2 big old lazy dogs laying right next to me. So that was my first coach, and since then I've had some really great coaches that I've learned a ton from, both fitness and competition coaches. That's how I got introduced to competing, and subsequently did competing. But I think the theme is that exercise and fitness always was what grounded me and still does. I am continuously a work in progress. Even now, it's like, I'm not feeling that awesome because I had a summer where I have a mystery illness, which now I would like to say we are pretty sure it was a virus, and it's a virus that tends to linger. So it might be a full 4 to 6 months before I feel 100%. But I am healthy, and that's good. And I think that we've narrowed it down to that being the cause, which kind of sucks because it means I can't really do much about it except wait it out. And so the very active, fitnessy person who uses fitness to ground me, and I can't be as active anymore, is struggling. Like I said, I'm still a work in progress too. These are the things that ground me. It's the things that fitness is always the thing that I keep coming back to. It's my balance. It's my therapy. But I think at the end of the day, the true lesson is that when you invest in yourself, when you take time for yourself, it's important. I love particularly working with women because we are typically the last people to invest any time in ourselves. We will put our families, our kids, our husbands, the PTA, two old, funky, stinky dogs before our own needs. And I remember I've done that before. I've taken care of my dogs before I've taken care of myself. And sometimes you need a coach or a guide or somebody who can help you think about how important it is for you to invest in your own health and wellness so that you can be the best version of yourself for your family and for your kids, and to be that big, bold, confident person. I mean, it's not about having a six-pack. It's not having the perfect butt or the squat challenges and stuff like that. It is really about you being the best version of yourself. And I say that all the time, the best, strongest, most confident version of yourself. And that can happen in a million different sizes. But it happens when everything is clicking. And I am a firm believer that you have to invest in your health. Paul says he could hear Maddie snoring. I told you I have a big sleepy St. Bernard. She's right there. Oh, now she's up. See what you did, Paul? You woke up the beast. But anyway, so I guess the moral of the story is I'm not perfect. And right now I'm not even that lean. But I am healthy and I am happy and I'm confident and I'm living a really good life. And I truly believe that has a lot to do with fitness. I believe it has to do with the lesson that I've learned about investing in my own self, my own time, my body, my health, and putting myself first when I need to put myself first. Because I don't think we do that enough, especially as women. We don't do that enough. So put yourself first. I know what it's like. I know I can help people get there. And that's why I love my business so much. I've had such an amazing opportunity to work with women who are inundated with activities and daycare and, jobs and careers and businesses and all that stuff. Yet they still have decided, they may not know how, but they made they made the decision to invest in themselves, and I get to help them do that. So, oh, thank you, Paul. You're beautiful and amazing. You've always been my inspiration, and that's why I married you. And Misty said you were wondering, holding the camera was heavy breathing. No, yeah, the dogs are definitely in full effect right over here. So, you guys, that's all I wanted to say today. I think it's important on social media that we really are our complete 100% selves, warts and all. So if you guys really want to know, I'm wearing a big old pair of sweatpants underneath this. I already talked about my headband. I'm wearing my headband because my edges look bad. I don't care. It's important for you guys to know that people are real. And it's the realness that helps us have the experience to help other people. Because I know where you've been. I've been there. I've been 30 pounds overweight a couple times in my life. And I'm not even just talking about the pregnancy. I didn't even count that. I have not felt great about myself. I've not felt confident, and I know what that feels like. But I've also gotten to the other side. I've also had amazing coaches along the way, and now I'm that coach to other people. So just let that sink in for a little bit. I love you guys. Well, maybe not some of the people that I don't know on this thing. No, kidding. I love you guys. And have a great afternoon. If you're not watching this live, definitely watch the playback. If you guys have any comments or any experiences that resonated with you, go ahead and drop a comment below. And I'd just love to hear from you because it's really important that we all really talk about who we actually are. May, thank you so much. She said it was an inspiring talk. You just had a 16-hour workday. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. But I'm so glad I got to see you online, May. I miss you so much. May, one of my ride or die people from earlier when we opened our fitness studio, and she's back in Singapore now, and I miss her every single day. So you guys have been great. Have a wonderful lunch. Watch this. Eat your chicken salad sandwich, whatever you need to do. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.